welcome to Beware of Spoilers. I am Adam, take 2 on this because I got a phone call in the middle of the last one. And there were some weird pauses, and I really don't have time to edit or anything, so it is 12:33. We are talking about the finale of Harley Quinn, which I finally got around to watching. And I think if there's one thing this show would have benefited from, I think it would have benefited from the binge model. And again, I feel like I go back and forth on this because there are some shows that binge watching it definitely helps, and there are some shows where binge watching it definitely hurts it. I feel like Harley Quinn would have been benefited from having it all out at once because I had a much more enjoyable time going and watching all of season 1 and 2 in one shot. I watched them all the way through when I had COVID in 2021. When I had COVID, I watched both seasons all the way through. And it made me, I was able to just get through the whole thing, and that was a better way to consume it. There are ties between episodes in this season that are not strong enough, especially when we take into consideration the fact that this is running the same time as other shows that are more continuity driven. I mean, they're not super continuity driven, but there are other shows going on that are, more intense on that front. And for a 20-minute show that's running where you have to kind of remember where you were to an extent and be like, okay, so in this show that's mostly madcap adventures, and for the most part the show's entire purpose is, Harley and Ivy are now dating, and they want to go along on their, and Harley wants to help Ivy in whatever her new mission is, which in this case is she wants to take over Gotham and revert it to a natural state with plants and all of that, which is Poison Ivy's thing, and that's the thing. I don't think we really got enough of Harley's transition to being a hero in this season by the time we get to the finale. I do like that they did that, and it created an interesting dynamic for season 4. But I don't think enough was done to set that up, so by the time we get to the end, it feels earned that she's now with the Bat family now that Bruce Wayne's in jail. What else did I talk about with this? There was definitely, it's not a bad show. That's the thing. The show's not bad. It's very watchable, and it is, it is very entertaining. It's just, I feel like for me, it would have been better to have waited for the entire thing to have come out and then gone back and watched it after, because then it's like, okay, so here is everything at once about this show, so you're not in this weird thing where you have to remember what happened week to week. And I know that sounds so petty and so stupid because it's like, is that too much work? And it's like, well, for a show like this, for this style, I think it is kind of important, especially considering, I think they can get away with it more with She-Hulk over on Disney Plus, because She-Hulk is because it is tied to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. So you're already in that mindset watching the show. And I feel like that's kind of what the big difference is, that this show doesn't put you in the mindset of, this is continuity, this is important. So when you're watching, you're like, oh, this is a good time. Every episode's a good time, and every episode is kind of standalone on its own. You can watch any of them out of order. But I feel like there is more continuity here than, say, a Rick and Morty, or other adult animated, cartoon, which feels like a, what's it called? A redundancy. But if that's the case, I feel like there's a better way to have executed this show. That's just me, I think. That this show would have been better executed with a, what's it called? I don't even know where I'm going with this. I mean, look, I like the show. The show is great. It's funny, and everything about it works. I just wish that they had just dumped it instead of doing the weekly. I think the weekly hurt it a little bit. That's just me, though. And I understand people are listening to this, so that's just me. And I don't know. I feel like there could have been more, and the show could have done, I don't want to say better, because it did do what it did pretty well. So, I don't know. I mean, the paradigm shift is kind of cool. I don't have anything else to say about it. See, that's the problem with Harley Quinn, is that it's like I did the first 3 episodes, and the first 3 episodes gave a lot, because you had 3 episodes, and now we have this 20-minute, things, where this one is predominantly about them setting up their relationship going forward. And really, this feels like it should have been the first episode of Season 4 more than the last episode of Season 3. I think the last episode before this one kind of sets up perfectly where they go from here. And, like, that final shot with Harley, with Ivy, after everything has gone to shit and everything has collapsed around her and her plan fell apart, her just standing in the middle of it and just going, fuck, like that, is just a perfect way, I think, to end the season. I guess I feel like the movement from Harley back to Harleen is going to be an interesting thing for Season 4. But if that's all this season did was set us up on that path, then I don't see a real, like, I don't see a real great narrative reason. And I do want to see the dynamic of 2 people who are, in this case, they will be dating still, it appears, and they will still actively hate each other professionally because they're rivals. And that whole Mr. and Mrs. Smith thing, or Mrs. and Mrs. Smith thing in this case, could be entertaining to watch. And I'm interested to see where they go with that. I just don't know if this season being entirely designed to be in service of getting to that point was worth it. Especially with what this season kind of was. It was pretty well, it's well done. I'm not saying it's not well done, but it would have, there were other paths to victory. I've been saying that a lot lately. I don't know. I think that about covers it, if I'm being honest. I don't have too much more to say about Harley Quinn, the finale Season 3. I think next year, when Harley Quinn comes back, we're not going to do weekly episodes. We're just going to do one giant thing for all of it at the end, because it's not like Rings of Power, it's not like other shows where you get something to talk about each week. It is just this, just this, like, grab bag, I guess would be the best way to put it. But we'll wrap up there for today. Tomorrow we'll do Rings of Power on my way to work. And Andor is this week. So that'll be Thursday morning. Friday morning will be, what's that other one? That other show. Its name I'm forgetting. She-Hulk. And then Rings of Power. I think Don't Worry Darling is the only new thing this weekend to keep an eye out for. But until then, have a great rest of your week.